It's proving very frustrating, folks. Beautiful day, the weather has gone absolutely glorious. We're getting a lot of just touches, fish grabbing hold of the end of the plastic but not really eating it. You go to lift the plastic and there's resistance there, and you might get one head shake and then nothing. So that's very frustrating. But we'll persevere. If you happen to come up here to the Bemm, incredibly popular place, especially through the summertime. One of East Gippsland's best places for catching the old black bream. There's the main lake that we're in here at the moment because it's nice and quiet. There's the river itself, which is only, it's not a very big river, and it's full of stumps and logs. Incredibly great place for catching perch, but hard to get them out of the timber. There's a lot of timber in there. So if you come up here, beware, don't go up the rivers too quick. As I say, a lot of that timber's on the surface or getting toward the surface. I hit a couple of days ago, just going very, very slow. And they thump pretty hard. And then the other part you've got is the channel that goes down toward the entrance. It's on the very eastern end of the lake. It's a very deep channel where most of this lake system is 2 metres, maybe 3 at the best. The river itself's 3 to 4 metres tops, 2 metres in most. The main channel going down toward the entrance, it gets up to 8 to 12 metres, very, very deep spots. And through the summertime, you get some good runs of fish sitting in those deep holes. And that's a lot of fun. But today we're just going to do the lake and wander and enjoy the weather because it's been miserable, absolutely miserable. But anyway, there's some fish around. But again, as I say, you really need a boat up here. It's very hard without one. If you get down toward the entrance area, which isn't far away, 5 minutes by boat, a very quick walk over the sand dunes, it's not very far, and you're right on the beach. There's some excellent surf fishing down here. You can drive down through the town on the gravel track to the beach and drive almost to it. Very short walk over the sand hummocks again. Excellent salmon fishing, some really good gummies come summertime. They're probably there now, but no one fishes for them in the winter time. It's too damn cold. But some really good salmon if you come up this way. Take a wander. Take some holidays. I did. Yet another one, folks. Still hopping the plastics. In the last few minutes, the wind's come up a bit. Got a little bit yucky. Might have to put the coat back on. I was just starting to warm up too. See if we can land this fish. We're just fishing a bit of a channel out here in the middle of the lake. Most of the lake's very shallow. There's only a little bloke. I'll drag him in. But this channel part is about 3 to 3.5 metres deep. Now that's remembering at the moment the entrance is closed and we've probably got the best part of 1 metre or more of water in the lake that's not normally there. When the entrance is open, she's a lot lower. So where I'm fishing 3.2 metres of water, that would be around 2 metres normally. And that's the usual sort of depth you're fishing in up here. It's not deep water by any means. Open your mouth. So there's a fish that's probably legal length, but I don't need to keep him. He can go back in. Next. A bit quick. Only hopped that lure once and he was on. Much better fish. We'll go for the net on this one. Ian's got one on the back. We'll show you his fish first. He lost it, folks.
He wasn't real.
Well, as you saw, folks, Ian, Bryson and I, Brack we call him, we had an absolute ball there for a few hours. I got to admit, the first few days at Bemm River were pretty damn miserable. It rained and it was cold and horrible, and viewers would know I detest the winter time. I'm looking forward to summer, and it's almost here, just around the corner. But we had an absolute ball, caught some beautiful fish, kept a couple for a feed, let the rest go. Most of them were spawning. The couple we did clean were full of eggs, which was a bit of a shame, but hey, that's life. There was some lovely fish there. Now, as the weather warms up, the perch will come on, the estuary perch. They'll start breeding down toward the mouth of that estuary. If you happen to be in this East Gippsland area and you do get on some good perch schools, be careful. They're a very slow growing fish, as are the bream, and they're very easily overfished. You can kill a lot of them if they're in spawning mode and they're all schooled up. So take it easy, will you? Don't kill too many for me. Yeah, the other thing is a lot of people still kill the big flathead. Now, there's a slight limit for dusky flathead. Anything between 30 centimetres and 55 centimetres can be kept. But because that rule's come in a few years ago, there are some huge dusky flathead, particularly in the Gippsland Lakes area and surrounding areas, right through to Malakuta. And unfortunately, I still get pictures sent to me of big dead flathead, big fish. We're talking metre-long fish. Now, there's probably 100,000 eggs that those things are going to lay. Don't kill them, okay? We want the fishery to go forever. Everybody these days seems to carry a mobile phone, and most of those mobile phones take some wonderful pictures. So rather than a dead fish in the freezer, which unbelievably no professional taxidermist will touch because they're not licensed to kill or to have those size fish in them because they're illegal, don't put it in your freezer and throw it away 6 months later. Some people may eat them. They're not very nice when they're that big. Take some pictures. Take a dozen pictures. 1 or 2 of those pictures will end up being absolutely wonderful. And in my trophy room here, I've got quite a few pictures, and I love them. I could show you a few, but there's dozens of them. I love to let those big fish go, and they swim off quite nicely. Don't keep them out of the water too long. Now, as I said, summer's coming very quickly. I'm really looking forward to it because that's the time of the big dusky flathead, and I love catching those big girls and letting them go. That's when the bass start. Places like Blue Rock Dam, Mitchell River, Avon River, all around the East Gippsland area. The stocking program has been huge, and there is some fantastic bass to be caught, particularly Blue Rock Dam, up above Maui and Morwell. Wonderful place if you've got a small boat. In amongst the timber, there's some big fish in there. There's also some big redfins, so beware, catch a few. One of the things that did happen on my recent trip was my lovely Enforcer rod, and I love this rod. One of the best rods that Kamikaze make for throwing plastics and vibes, and I broke the tip off. It was incredibly rough that last day. We couldn't do finish the show because the weather came in so bad and so miserable. We just got off the water. But rather than throw it away, I'm not into that. I've got a few bits and pieces of other rods. I'll undo the bindings like this particular guy. It should fit quite nicely. Sweat it off or heat it up so it just pulls the glue off. And that runner will then go on this one. So the rod will be a bit shorter, changes the action somewhat, makes it a lot stiffer. Probably not ideal, but for bigger fish like flathead fishing, absolutely perfect. And hopefully it'll fix well. But it's almost time for the bass, the big flathead, the big bream. They're almost here. So get your gear ready. Have a look what's on the offer. There's some beautiful lures around at the moment, some beautiful plastics. My absolute pick of them again is the tournament plastics from Kamikaze. Those little 2-inch plastics will catch anything, absolutely anything. And our bigger models, up to 100 mil, or 4 inches in the L scale, wonderful on the big flathead. But like I said, try not to kill too many for me, okay?